How do everyone? Funny I say that every time, Mark, but I've catching myself doing it now. I go, and there's a big long thing I've got to edit out. You know what I mean? So my hands normally up in the air like that. So I'm like, how do everyone? Because I've edited out there. So, anyways, are you well? Are you well for this Friday evening?
I'm good actually. Yeah, I'm not
Oh, good.
too bad at all. And funny you should say that about the. I once saw, like, going off a total rabbit hole here, right? I once saw it was a YouTube short or YouTube video, right? And it was somebody who worked for a company, and she said, "Oh, my boss asked us to do a video for him." And I think this person must have been pretty good at the old social media stuff and that. And she filmed a video of her boss, and she edited it together and sent it to him. And basically, it was like an outtakes video of every time he went or sort of breathing. And ever since I've seen that, I'm so conscious
Oh,
about
aye.
doing that on my video. So when I'm editing a video now, I put my headphones on because I don't really hear it. If I'm using the speakers on the computer, I won't really hear it. But I put my headphones on and turn it on. So if ever you're watching one of my videos and you see what I call a jump cut, see, we see me move from one thing to the next randomly, or it zooms in and zooms out or something. That's me taking out the video, me going like that on the microphone.
But there's some word I say as well, and I watched another video, Mark, just not recently, and it was like I say that all the time. Do you know what I mean? And I can't remember what it's like. And I even from podcasting times I've said it like because I started podcasting in 2006. So even back then I was saying it, and I haven't learned my lesson. Do you know what I mean? 2006, I'm still saying it. You know what I mean? Still people are pulling us up.
Somebody once left a comment on one of my videos and said, "Why do you say absolutely so much?" And now every time I say it, I'm like, "I've just said it again." But then I think, sod it. I'm just going to say it. It's just part of my normal.
Well, there's a few
vocabulary.
people always, and I think they say to everybody, mind you. Well, I can hear you breathing. Do you know what I mean? And it's like you're huffing and puffing. But your mic's there, so it's going to pick up even like the slightest. Do you know what I mean? Where I started at when you kind of get these messages, try not to huff and puff, but then you lose your breath and you're going.
It's maybe not so bad when we're sort of both sitting here like in a house, like sitting down with a microphone and the computer and whatnot. But if you're at the allotment and you're doing jobs or you're in the garden, if you're walking or you're trying to talk on a microphone or to a camera when you're walking, like not going is really difficult.
They don't know the half of it, Mark. They don't know the half of it. Right, I want to kick this off then, Mark, with something fundamentally important in life.
Goodness.
Pork pie or Scotch egg?
Whoa. Now, you see, I'm probably late in life to both of these delicacies. It's probably nothing that I ate loads of when I was younger. But now...
Wait a minute, Mark, the word delicacy is it's like playing up with us there.
But now there's a bit of white in this bit here. I've noticed now, by the way. Sorry, it goes all the way underneath now.
Really just goes everywhere. Just everywhere.
It's coming here. Now I like them both. And I would have said Scotch egg, but if you get a really good pork pie, like a good one with like a Melton Mowbray sort of pork pie with that sort of, like, it might sound awful, like the lardy pastry, like the really tasty pastry. You can feel the arteries hardening. But I think, I'm going to go pork pie. I think that's an easy-ish one this week, Tony. I think you've let me off lightly.
I totally agree. I think pork pie. I mean, don't get us wrong, Scotch eggs, because we go to Tynemouth. There's a market in the Tynemouth market every weekend in the tube station, in the metro station. So, and there's like all these like artisan little food things there, and there's a company that does pork pies. Now, it fills you up for the day. Do you know what I mean? These things are like that. Do you know what I mean? And there are all these different fancy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fancy flavors, you know what I mean? Not just...
Speaking of artisan markets, so we have an artisan market once a month. The first Saturday of every month. in Linguistic, down the road there, we have the artisan market. And lovely, lovely stuff. I mean, you get all the fancy like that pies, breads, cakes, and all that sort of stuff. And I don't know if they're still there or not, but there used to be a crumble guy. And I heard you talking about crumble on Potty Mate on Monday there.
You know my weakness.
And it was, but like, we do sometimes, like, just Saturday, just there. So I'm part of a little community group sort of thing. And we do little events. And we did a seed swap on Saturday.
All right,
right. Sometimes people come back with little pots of crumble and custard. And it's like, it's not massive. It's like like £8. £8 for some crumble.
Jason's just said in the chat, the word artisan, just double the price. And it's you know what I mean?
Is that what he does with his organic seeds?
Right, where was it? We bought something and it was just like, yesterday I went because it was been Pancake Tuesday last night.
Yes,
you know what I mean? I'm stopping stopping puddings for a month, Mark.
Tony,
I know. I don't know what the hell. I know. Don't know where that's come from. I was led down a path, and then all of a sudden I'm kind of, because it was chocolate, and then it was just like, well, chocolate really, because I could slip quite into crumble, and there's a nothing. This is not even a biscuit through the day.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I can have a rich tea, apparently.
Rich tea.
It's
not even like
a biscuit.
Is it? You can't dip that in your tea, can you? It's just going to fall off into your mug.
But I went to Morrison's yesterday, and actually it was £11 for maple syrup, right? £11.
Jeez,
It wasn't even maple syrup.
Oh.
It was a blend of like whatever, cacao, this syrup and that syrup. With like, it was something like, I don't know, it might have been 25% maple syrup just to give it the flavour hint. And I was like, you are kidding. Because Melanie says that's not the right stuff. You're getting like...
That's nuts.
Oh.
I know. So did you
I still had it when Reed made the pancakes. I still had it. And to be honest, it did taste wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like from original like maple syrup. You know, we get some at Costco in like a big kind of thing. Because I normally have it, this is me cheat. I normally have it with me bran flakes, bananas and raisins for breakfast. I put a little squirt of maple syrup in there just to take the edge off, Mark. Just you know what I mean?
No. A healthier alternative to sugar, like refined sugar. I think that's the thing, isn't it? Cutting out the sort of refined sugar sort of stuff, your white sugar kind of stuff. Get that out of your diet, and it's.
Do you think this is strange, Mark? Have we? I don't know if we've even talked about this before, but I can't have a drink of, say, water or anything without a biscuit. Have we mentioned this before?
No, you've not mentioned that. No.
So my gran used to be like this. Now I think I picked it up from my gran, and I don't mean like a full biscuit. I just mean if I'm thirsty, like really thirsty, I've got to have half a biscuit to make us even thirstier. I can't drink the water. Yeah. So, and my gran was exactly like this. Oh, I've got to have a biscuit, Tony. You know what I mean? I've got to have a biscuit. Have you ever heard of that, or is it just me and me gran? Do you know what I mean?
I think it's just you and your gran, Tony. I'm not too bad at drinking water during the day because I'm working throughout the day. I'm usually pretty good at having a bottle. I know, like, isn't that the whole thing these days about you're supposed to drink however much it is a day, like 4 pints or 4 litres a day or something. If I drank 4 litres a day, Tony, I'd never be off the toilet. I'd be there every 10 minutes. But I like to have a water bottle, like normally with us, just so I know that I'm drinking enough during the day.
Jason said this, well, water's too wet without a biscuit. That's, you see, I'm not the only one. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's just taking the mick.
What type of biscuit are you having, Tony?
It can be anything, Mark. Do you know what I mean? It can be like a nibble of a bit of, it doesn't even have to be sweet. Crisp, a couple of crisps, just to get that kind of hit of thirst. Like, because I want the intensity of thirst to go, well, I'm there. I can, do you know what I mean? I can finish it out and drink.
But don't they say if you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated?
Yes.
So you should drink before you feel thirsty. I mean, I don't. When I'm thirsty, I'll go in the kitchen. I'm really thirsty. I'll get a pint glass out, fill it up, and guzzle it down, and that's the water away down there.
Well, I've got to have, when I do that, I've got to have like a little nip of something there.
So. But what's your biscuit of choice though, Tony? If you had to pick if you had to pick a biscuit for your cup of tea or that, what would it be?
Well, everyone goes for, like, say, chocolate digestives. And don't get us wrong, or, like Hobnob, them kind of ones. But when I was at work, it was always, I used to always go and get a packet, you know what I mean, have them in the kind of, well, have them hidden in my locker. I was going to say in the kind of cupboard, but no, I had them hidden in my locker. They're called, is it fruit and raisin short? They're like a little flat round one, and it's like shortbread with little raisins in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, well, Jason's saying in the chat that Garibaldi, is a Garibaldi not a sort of flat?
Yes, well, I'm not sure.
Sort of one, I think, maybe. I don't know. I've got to go. You see, I'd say chocolate hobnob has been a bit of a king of the biscuits, especially if you're going to dunk it, because a hobnob's a robust dunker. It's not going to break off into your cup. But the other week, I got some Marks and Spencer's own make chocolate hobnobs.
Right.
Another level, Tony. Because like Tesco's and Sainsbury's and that, right?
I can't keep up with the chat. Everyone's the biscuits.
Tesco's, Sainsbury's, Asda, Aldi, own make hobnobs.
Right.
Don't cut it. Then you've got McVitie's hobnobs. But then I tried Marks and Spencer's hobnobs. And it was you know what did it for us? The thickness of the chocolate. The thickness of the chocolate on a Marks and Spencer's hobnob is thicker than a regular chocolate hobnob. There you go. So I've got a new top of the heap biscuit to have with a cup of tea.
And would you just have one biscuit, Mark, with your tea?
You see, here's the problem, Tony. This is why I don't have. This is why I haven't got biscuits in my cupboard in the kitchen.
Right.
Because 1 leads to 2, which leads to 5, which leads to, there's no tea left in the cup because you've taken it all in the biscuit sort of thing. So, yeah, if it's I try not to have it in the kitchen because if I've got it in the cupboards at some point during the day, especially when I'm working, you're 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're like, could just get a cup of tea and I'll just have a biscuit or 7 kind of thing. So I try not to have them in the house.
Well, my downfall is, Mark, I'll have 3. And it's these short little ones that I have. They're dead thin. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure it's called shortbread or shortcake. It's like a shortbread. You know what I mean? Like, but it's got raisins in, but they're little ones.
Yeah.
I'll take 3 to the chair if I'm watching. If I'm just I've got 5 minutes to myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? That kind of 5 minutes, and but then I'll finish the tea and I'll walk back to where the biscuits are, and I'll just eat 2. It's like standing at the fridge kind of thing, or the cupboard, which is not like a pleasure. It's just like greed. Do you know what I mean? I'm just kind of like a little dog
just having it.
Do you know what I mean? So, do you have? How many would you have? Have you ever had the whole packet?
I've never. I'd be ill, mate. I think I'd be ill if. I've had
Marks and Spencer's chocolate hobnobs. You might be carried away.
The chocolate, Tony. I've polished off like half a packet in that before. No bother, because I'm like you. Like if I'm having a cup of tea and I've got biscuits, I think 3 is probably. I think that's my sensible number, right? 3. I think 3's just 1's not enough. 2's just a bit. 3's okay. If you go to 4. You've committed and you've gone too far, sort of.
Greedy boy.
I'll have 3, but then sometimes, if you've had like a crap day or you're just not feeling it, I'll just have another couple. I'll just have a couple, and half the packet's gone, and you're like, I regret that, especially because I bought the old Peloton thing, and I'm trying to cut down at the moment. I'm trying to be really good. Breaking news, by the way, on the Peloton.
Sold it. It's broke.
I've sold it. I sold it yesterday. Yeah.
Mark, it only came last week.
so, and I'm okay with it because it served its purpose. So
I've never seen this anywhere on notes or anything. You've kept this from it. The first go, that's too hard. That's too hard.
So the first bit of good news is I sold it for exactly what I paid for it.
Right.
So I did think I got a good deal on it, and I did think I might make a little bit of profit, but I sold it for exactly what I paid for it, which is okay. I'm okay with that. I'm
right. Okay. Tell us the story, Mark. What's happened?
I enjoyed it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was quite good. don't think it is probably worth what you pay for it. I mean, it got me, like, I was doing it, like, I think is it 2 weeks, I think, overall, or near enough 2 weeks I've had it. And I was on it.
More like one. I'll be
and it was good. And I mean, honestly, it takes it out of you, like, out your legs especially. It makes you work. And it had the one with the screen you can turn around. So I did a bit of yoga. I did some weights and stuff like that with the classes and things. It was good, brilliant. It was all right. I don't think it's worth the money because it's like £39 a month for the membership thing to get access to all the stuff. So what it has done though is it's motivated. It's got me back into the I want to go to the gym mindset sort of thing. So I think I said last week that I used to go to the gym all the time. You still love it, absolutely loved it all the time, and fell out of love with it. And then it's just given me a kick up the backside,
right,
to go back to the gym. So I'm going back to the gym instead of having the Peloton in the living room where I put it, because I'm pointing over there because I had it over there.
It was a big thing. Do you know what I mean? It kind of,
yeah. I mean, it was tall. It was heavy. It was good. I mean, they're really well made. They're solid. They work brilliantly. But I just for the price, I was like, nah, I'm going back to the gym.
When did you? Because I'll be honest, Mark, it's you haven't had it long. When did you say to yourself, I've jumped in here? Before it was delivered.
Yeah, I mean, I'd been thinking about it for ages. Like, if I'm going to buy something big like that, honestly, I'll spend ages researching it. Like, I'll research everything about it, and it'll take me months. I'll be on YouTube, I'll be on Reddit, I'll be on everything, and I eventually took the plunge. And then it came, tried it. It was brilliant. I just don't think it's worth the money. No, I don't. Overall, that's my review of the Peloton Bike Plus. So, not worth the money.
So even though you're getting a good workout from it,
yes,
you said your legs were burning, your cardio must have been kind of perfect workout. It's still not. Yeah. I think it's. Do you not think it's maybe the 40 quid as well? You've got to pay.
I think so, yeah, and I think I'm feeling like I want to go back to the gym where the people are. Like, right. I was doing it there on the bike with the screen, and you can do live classes, so there's other people in the thing, or you can just do like pre-recorded ones. And it's just like, nah, I want to go back to the gym, and it is cool. Like, the big screen, it is like brilliant, and if you don't want to do the classes, you can, like, it's got Netflix on it, or it's got Disney Plus on it, and things like that. So you can just watch your thing, or you can go on these like cycles through different countries and stuff when you're cycling along and stuff, which is pretty cool.
And now all that's built in without the subscription.
No, you've got to have the subscription for that.
Right.
Yeah. So if you want to access the classes or the stuff, so you can access like the apps like Netflix and Disney and stuff like that, no bother.
Right.
But if you want to access their classes, all the scenic cycles and things like that, you've got to pay your 40 quid a month. Right. Yeah.
So did you sell it? I'm curious. Did you sell it like second hand through eBay or
Facebook Marketplace? Everything these days, Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
No bother selling it. I put it on. What day is it today? We're filming this Wednesday. I put it on Monday. Monday morning I put it on.
Right.
By Monday lunchtime, someone had been in touch, asking a few questions, stuff like that. Sent them a few extra photos and stuff. We'll take it. Came last night, 5:00. You can take the screen off and stuff like that, so it fits in the car and stuff. Bank transfer, off it goes.
Right.
It's easy as that.
Right.
So yeah. So I'm off to the gym tonight. So Wednesday is my crazy mad busy day. So I take Robbie to school. I come back. I do some work. We do potty mouth. I do some work. I pick Robbie up. I come back. I take him to hockey. I come back and I go and pick him up from hockey, and then I come back again. So in the gap between me dropping Robbie off at hockey training and picking him up, I'm going to go to the gym.
Right.
So instead of just coming home, well, I'm saying that it might be different tonight. I might come home tonight, but there's a reason for that. So drop him off, and then my plan is on a Wednesday go to the gym, and then pick him up afterwards.
Right. That's a full day, mind you. You know what I mean?
It's a Wednesday. A Wednesday is always busy, but it's good. It makes the time. I mean, a Wednesday passes like that, like sort of crazy busy. So it's good. It's all good though.
I mean, it's nice that you've sold it for the same price, so you're not kind of.
Oh no,
you know what I mean?
know. I honestly thought that my plan was if I didn't like it, I was going to wait till May was going to be my thing because I thought,
yeah, I remember you saying
beach bodies, holidays, and all that. I thought it'll go for a bit of a profit, but I went early. But I'm gonna. Speaking of tonight, so my plan tonight is I was going to go to the gym, but not tonight. So that'll be my regular Wednesday. Tonight, I'm coming back to work on my best man speech.
Oh,
I know.
right,
Yeah, I'm going to be a best man.
right.
I am. So it's a bit.
When is the day you have to?
Friday the 14th of March.
All right, not
So it's not
bloody
not
hell.
far away.
How long are you doing?
Oh yeah, a little while. I mean, I've written like a page and a bit so far, and that's just my initial sort of boom. Here's some stuff on a page kind of thing. I need to jiggle it around, and I think there's specific things you've got to have in there. Like a best man is supposed to say this about the couple, or supposed to say, "Don't the bridesmaids look beautiful?" Which they will do, of course. It's not me just saying it because I have to. They will indeed be radiant on the day, that's for sure. So yeah, I'm busy working my way through that to do that. So it's my first time being a best man. I've been an usher and things like that before, like sort of part of the party kind of thing, but I've never been a best man. So it's a bit daunting.
Oh, Mark, I couldn't do it. No way on God's green earth.
No.
I've even told Ellie, if ever gets married, don't expect a speech. Do you know what I mean? And even walking her down the aisle or the registry office or anything, you know, it's like that would chew us to bits. Do you know what I mean? So you to get up in front of, you know what I mean? Some people are like, I mean, this is easy for me. This just kind of sitting, do you know what I mean?
On the camera and that.
Yeah, there's no cover here. But to do it in front of, that's what we talked about this before, like a live potty. No, you know what I mean?
Not feeling it. So I think my plan is to get it written by Thursday, by tomorrow night. And then over the next week, practice. So because on the day I'll have to read it off a piece of paper. I can't memorize it. But I just want to, when I've done things at work before, when I've done like interviews and stuff like that, like I practice all my answers and stuff like that. Like I practice so much.
Right.
So when I'm given the answer, it just like all sort of comes out, and I'll go into this weird sort of mode that I go into, my sort of work mode kind of thing, where I'll just focus on it so much and get it put, like, it's been a bit of a perfectionist, I think, and wanted to be in control of it. I don't like not being in control of something. So being a bit of a control freak, so if I don't feel in control of it, of the speech, and being
See, I'm the total opposite, Mark. It's all I want's bullet points. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, even when we do our, you remember with show notes, I say to you, can I just put them in bullet points just so I can, like, if I know what, like, say what's coming up, then waffle. Do you know what I mean? And maybe that's the wrong thing if I'm going for an interview. Do you know what I mean? Because they'd be like, and another thing I said, well, our Jareen, she went far away over there in them hills. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So, but
you see, I was going to say, you see, when I'm interviewing people, if I'm on the other side of the desk, if I'm interviewing, normally we get people to run through a whole rigmarole of sort of stuff. And one of the things I get people to do is a presentation about a specific thing, whatever it might be. And I get ribbed for this at work by the guys, like, because I say, right, you've got 7 minutes to do a presentation. So it's when they're doing it, they're really concise about what they're talking about, because it's dead easy. Like if somebody's really knowledgeable about something, like they'll just go and do like a massive brain dump on you from the thing, and you're sitting there going, bloody hell, we're not finished yet. So they get 7 minutes, and I'm a real stickler. If you go over the 7 minutes, you'll get marked down. Because like some of the people because if I go and present to people, if I've got to go and present to people, some of the people I present to don't have a lot of time. So I've got to go in and I've got to go bam, 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 bam.
Right.
There you go. Done. Here's what you need to know. Done. Out. And if you go in and you start waffling, you'll hear about it. You know, 7 minutes, that's my limit. You've got 7 minutes, not a second more.
Right. And you get marked down. What What are you giving yourself then? I bet you're giving yourself wiggle room for the speech. Are you the best man? Oh, I've got a minute either side. Easy.
Yeah, I'm doing it by length of page. So I'm thinking I don't want to be up there for ages and be like boring kind of thing, you know. So I'm thinking
When's the buffet? When's the buffet coming?
Well, I think best man's normally last, isn't it? It's either groom, father of the bride, best man, or father of the
I'm not
bride,
sure.
groom, best man. But best man's always last.
Right.
So I'm literally the only thing between
the buffet.
You know, there's me and everybody getting fed. So everyone's like, hurry up, will this guy hurry up? So I'm thinking 2 pages. I'm thinking 2 sides of A4 at the most.
Right.
To read. So that'll be 5-10 minutes. You know, I don't want to be any longer than that. I don't want to be too long. So
mine, what you're saying is I can like press record on the video in the garden and then look, catch the screen and realize I've been waffling for like 12 minutes. And it's meant to be only like an 8-minute video. Do you know what I mean? And you think, hell, I haven't even done the thing. Do you know what I mean? I've waffled that much. I haven't even planted this or done this or done that. Do you know what I mean? So getting marked down. Hell.
No, I'm a bit of a stickler for it.
Right.
Although I'll not tell you the last job I applied for internally for a promotion. I had to do there was a CV and a covering letter. Then I think I did 14 online tests. Then I had an hour with a psychologist. Then I had to do an external panel where there was 5 people, and I had to talk to them about some stuff. Then I had a final interview where I had to do a presentation, and there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there as well interviewing us. It was a treat.
That's horrific. Honestly, that was
it was horrific. It was absolutely horrific.
Where do you come down on then, Mark? Where you had to go through all that, but if someone's purely nervous, like I would be, say, like me, that would just be nervous.
Yeah.
But I've got the skills to do that job. You know, because I heard once, and I think it's all kind of went up in the air now with kind of certain parties coming into the government in the USA, but I know Google had this thing there where they would specifically go out looking for people that kind of can just focus on, you know what I mean, like on that design or that topic, and anything else they get a bit kind of anxious, so they're in their own room and that. So where do you come down on that kind of? You make brilliant at interviews.
So for me, if I'm being the one interviewed or examined, it's all out preparation for me. I will go into I talk about this thing I can do. It's called hyperfocusing. Like yesterday was a hyperfocus day, right? So I'm writing a strategy at work, and I keep getting interrupted. So we always say, like, you're trying to work on something, but you get interrupted by emails and meetings and things and stuff that just come and interrupt your day. But yesterday was my a hyper focus day. So I woke up just after 5 o'clock, not on purpose. I just woke up. I was like, right, and I'm on, and I'm like, and I was focused, and that was me for the day. And I worked through. I went and did stuff and that at different times, but I was on till about 10:30 last night.
Really?
And I was just. That was it. It was just, right, I'm doing this. I'm getting it done. My calendar was pretty light. And I was, right, done, finished. And I was on and battered through it. But if I'm interviewing somebody and they're a bit nervous, a bit anxious, and I tell if I'm coaching people through things and that as well, and I say to them, it's a good thing. Because for me, if somebody's nervous, it shows that it means something to them.
Right.
If somebody comes in and they're a bit, confidence is good. But if you've got cockiness, if you've gone too far, it's a bit sort of like, oh, look at me kind of thing. But if somebody's got a little bit of nerves, if you can just see if they're like a little bit, just stumble a little bit sometimes or something, then I look at that as a good thing. Because I think if you're nervous, then it shows that what you're doing means something to you. It's like that. I was thinking that about the best man speech, because I'm quite, when I do it, hopefully I come across as being quite, confident in doing it.
Not a blob of jelly.
In the pit of my stomach, they'll be feeling it. I'll be, and my pal Mark, who's the guy getting married, obviously he's got a really great name. I think he's even worse than me for doing a speech. He's bricking it.
Right. So. Oh man, still through that. Do you know what I mean?
I know. All your friends and family and that sort of sitting there just waiting for you.
Well, you've actually got on the show notes a day watching TV versus hyper productive. So, to be honest, surely though that's not. If that kept on happening for you over and over, that's not a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, I guess I can have my off days as well when I'm maybe not as productive.
Right.
And I think did he touch on this on Potty Mouth at some point as well? But I saw a thing. I think it was on Facebook or somewhere, and somebody was talking about having a rot day, and I was like, "What's a rot day?" And I looked what they were talking about, and it's like you just sit and you eat junk, and you watch telly, and you might even wear your PJs all day, or just your shorts and your t-shirt or whatever. You don't really go anywhere or do anything. You just have a day to yourself. You just sit and veg out, sort of thing.
Well,
and I was like,
that's what we talked. It was Jessie mentioned it. She had a day where, you know what I mean?
That was it.
And she sat and watched she gulped 2 seasons of programs, you know what I mean? And JB straight after the show, what were the 2 programs, you know?
That's what I was thinking. What was she watching?
I can't remember one of them. One of them was Reacher. So one of them was Reacher. So I can't remember what the other one was that she said. But I have them days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And every day is a holiday here for me. But them days are nice when everyone goes out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they've got the dogs, and you kind of just think, what?
Oh,
any excuse, mind you, because if you just look outside the window and say, "Oh, it's a bit blowy," that's no good. That's no good for the garden. Where normally you'd be up in the garden. Do you know what I mean? Kind of, that's no good for the garden. No.
Well, Sunday, I was a bit like that on Sunday. I must admit. Like, certainly, I'd say for the first up till probably about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was just like, I'm a bit tired. It's a bit rubbish outside, and I just vegged about, just in the house. I started watching something on Prime. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Something called Blacklist.
No,
and it's because I'd seen it. I keep getting influenced. So it's like, they obviously do it on purpose, but they put these little clips of TV shows on like your YouTube Shorts and stuff like that. So you're scrolling through, and I'm like, oh, that looks good. And it's one called Blacklist, and it's from 2013. It started.
I think it rings a bell, Mark. Yeah,
it's a guy, Red Redford. The guy's called.
Yes.
And he deals with all the.
He might have been actually in. Was he in the first season of Stargate or something like that? Like a while. And is there a woman in there as well? Is there like a younger female?
Yes, yeah. The FBI agent is the woman, and he'll only deal with her at the FBI.
Yes, I think so. I think I don't know why I stopped watching that, to be honest.
Well, you see, I was loving it. Excuse me, I'm going all croaky again. I was loving watching it, right? And I don't want to put like a little, do not do that on the wedding day, Mark. That'll, everyone will be. It's all right. I'll have a bottle of beer or something, and it'll be fine. But Sunday, that was my binge on Sunday, was Blacklist. And I think I've watched too much of it. And now I'm just like, because there's loads of seasons to watch.
Right.
And now I'm just like, I think I've
peaked.
I've got Blacklist burnout. I think I've watched too much of it. So I think I might be done with it. But yeah, I do like a veg out day, a rot day.
I went through, I tell you what, I went through years ago. I watched them all when it came out. Stargate. Do you mean anything science fiction? And I love Stargate. To be honest, I got the end of that and was like, "This is like, what am I going to do with my life?" Do you know what I mean? There is no more Stargate. Brilliant. Then I discovered there was about 5 seasons of Stargate Atlantis, which was even twice as good as Stargate. Do you know what I mean? And it was just like, but once like something like that finishes, do you know what I mean? I think breaking. Mark, you're going to have to sort that cough out when the day comes. And today now, you're going to realise it's going to make you paranoid. You know what I mean? Oh, if I cough again, I'll be bloody.
And I can't just press a button on my microphone at the thing either, because I do press mute and it mutes it out. But I can't do it.
It's not that long, so you'll have to tell her how it went. Tony, my throat just closed up.
No, so it won't be next Friday. You'll find out. It'll be the Friday after the show. Yeah.
That'd
Well,
be nice.
speaking of which, I think I've got this in the notes. It probably doesn't mean anything to you, and it says, "What does next Saturday mean to you?"
Oh yes, I've seen that. Yes.
We had this. I remember we had this discussion once at work, right? So if I said to you, Tony, if I said Tony says, "Oh, I'm going to a wedding next Friday," when would you think that is?
I'm going to a wedding next Friday.
Next Friday. So today's Wednesday when we're filming this.
Uh-huh.
So if I said to you, "I'm going to a wedding next Friday," when would
Right.
you think that is?
Well, not the Friday coming, the
Huh?
Friday after.
Exactly. Somebody at work was telling us, no, no. When you say next Friday, that means the next one coming up, like this Friday. And I was like, nah, nah, I'm not having that.
That's
I'm
this
not having that.
Friday. That's this Friday.
That's this Friday, whereas next Friday is next Friday. I could kind of see the logic when you say next Friday, because it's the next Friday. But next Friday is the Friday after
Uh-huh.
this
Uh-huh.
Friday. Yeah, it is. That's what I think about it. But they said it, and everybody was like, "It made your teeth itchy." Oh, what the what they're talking about? That's a bit weird. Next Friday. That's not what next Friday is. It's not. No, it was a bit.
Well, that's the
It's a
way
bit
I
odd.
take. You know what I mean? Like next Friday is like or you could say a week on Friday.
Mm. Or sometimes in here in Scotland, you get them. People say next again Friday. Oh, it's the next again Friday. It is.
Right. Well, I have not heard that, and that's just way, way
Yeah.
complicated. Do you know what I mean? Like
No,
adding another
it was
word
just.
in. Do you know what I mean?
It was just weird. It just got my heckles up. It's like, oh, that's odd.
So, did the person in did they back down and realize the mistake?
No, I think they still think
Well,
that's how it's. I mean, the other people in the meeting, everybody was kind of in agreement that next Friday is definitely not this Friday, but the Friday after.
it's all
But that one
week Friday. Who's saying?
a week
Jason's saying
Friday,
week Friday. Marion's saying that would be Friday week.
Friday week.
Oh, well,
So
Marion, I've never heard Friday. A week on Friday,
a week
surely.
on Friday, yeah,
Friday week. Is
Friday
Friday
week.
week this Friday? See, that's the simplest, isn't it?
Oh,
This Friday, next Friday. There's no
keep
messing.
it simple, Tony.
Ah,
Keep it simple. This Friday and next Friday. That's all
you
we
know,
need. We don't need more than that.
there's crises in the world, but we're discovering more and more every time with chat, Mark. You know what I mean? And you're putting us under pressure. What is it that you mentioned about? Have you been hit with car tax customer service announcements? What's
Oh no! I was meant to say this at the start. Oh
right?
man, let me refer to my phone. Just this. Oh no, I won't refer to my phone.
Don't
Sorry.
do it because it'll bloody knock off the TV.
I read this. I read an article on. You remember I mentioned the Dull Men's Club on Facebook?
Yes.
Being right, and I read this in it, and I saw this, and I thought, I've got to let everybody know about this. So they're changing car tax in the UK, and I felt I need to do a bit of a customer service announcement for anybody who's watching.
Right.
This show. So if you've got a car from 2017 or newer,
Right.
and you pay one of the lower tax brackets, either like 0, 15 or 35 or something like that, I think it is, tax your car this month, right? Even if your tax isn't out of date, if you've got the number, you're never going to re-tax your car, you get a number
Yes.
from the DVLA. If you've got that number, you can still go in and like re-tax your car now. And it takes into account all the tax you've already paid and stuff like that. So you're not paying extra. Because from the 1st of April, some of those people who pay 0, 15, 35 or whatever, it'll go to £195 for the year. So if you get in before the end of the month, get your 12 months tax, get in, get it paid, up and go to 195 quid.
That would have been my old Volvo because I think I was paying 20 quid a month, like a year for it. That would have been, but now my new Ford Focus one is 100, and because I had to hit that there. I did get a tax refund when I cashed it. You know, and you get your tax back if you
automatically now
£6 and something pence I got back, Mark.
Oh, you know Tony, what are you going to spend that on?
You know what I mean?
Goodness.
Swings and roundabouts, eh? You know what I mean? I came out the same, you know what I mean? Actually,
but then
go on, what was that?
I was just going to say, well, we were talking because I told the guys at work that this morning as well. I put the thing in the team saying, by the way, if anybody's got a car that's this much, and it got them on talking about car tax. Have you seen the luxury car tax thing?
Oh, is that 500 or something, or five?
Aye, so I think if your car's like £40,000 or more, which is quite a lot for a car, £40,000, but it's like 500 quid or more. I think it depends on the value of the cars, and I don't know exactly, but the tax can be eye watering. And we were saying that's a case of where, like, the law or legislation or whatever it is, it doesn't keep up to date with inflation. Because obviously, cars, like, I know £40,000 a lot for a car. It's a lot for anything. Let's be honest. But like some cars now are like mad expensive. Like just your standard ones as well are getting mad expensive. So £40,000 to be like classed as a luxury car. Oh,
No,
I'm not
no.
quite. I'm
Well,
not
you
quite
go to
convinced.
a dealer, and it's what you pay for a car, brand new one. I
Aye.
guess there's not that many, you know what I mean? Like under,
No.
you know what I mean? You get your family cars and all that, but anything like, say, with a BM or a Mercedes, you know what I mean? That tag
Anything like that.
is away, you know what I mean? You
Yeah,
can,
done for. Have you ever had a brand new car, Tony? Like a brand new one?
no,
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 I've never
no.
had a brand new one either. Never. There's a couple of
Oh,
guys.
I've had, see, I've had brand new lease car,
Aye.
you know what I mean? Where they
What
have
do you
to
think
go
of
back.
leasing? Leasing versus owning a car? What do you think of leasing? Is
I
leasing
didn't
worth
like
it? Do you think?
leasing. Do you know what I
Didn't
mean?
like it, no.
Well, I'll tell you why, because I've got 14 hounds in the back, and I'm terrified. You know what I mean? That
Or something get
and
damaged.
the car gets wrecked. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
This little one needs a good clean there now. And I also remember
Yeah.
getting a lease car. One of them, I think, it was a Nissan Qashqai, and one of the, I can't remember which one. First day in, chewed one of the back seat belts.
Oh
Do you know what I mean?
man.
And that feels your MOT, you know what I mean? But it was a
Oh,
brand new
does it?
car, so I had to get it fixed. I didn't go for an MOT, but I had to get it fixed before it went back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
Oh man. You see, I've got a Skoda Octavia VRS, and I think it's the bee's knees. I think it's absolute. It's the mud's nuts. It does everything. It's the best car I've ever had. Like, and I've had all sorts of different cars, and that's up there. That's top drawer. And there's a couple of guys I know, like a couple of pals, and they've got lease cars, and they've obviously got brand new. One's got like a Hyundai Tucson, one's got a Kia something or other, and that. And I'm like, oh, I'd love a brand new car. I've never had a brand new car, but then. Like you, like the state of my boot, and I'm pointing because it's parked out the front there. The state of my boot when I'm chucking bags of compost in,
that's
I've just moved the quad grows up to the allotment and stuff like that. Even that, there's bits of compost fall off, and there's stuff, and if like people don't care about other people's cars in supermarket car parks, like people bang their doors and stuff. And I think if I've got a lease car, then it's just hassle to sort it because it then has to be. Fixed and sorted before it goes back if it's like scratched or anything like that.
It's got to be all. I mean, we've took many a car. There's what do you call a scratch? There's a scratch company that does chip away. I think they're called chips away kind of thing. You know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, right, get that. And it's just like where. And my old one, I haven't done it with this one. Where I park, my old one is like parks next to a wall. I used to like think, right, I've gone far enough when I hit the wall. Do you know what I mean? So it would like you could feel it going, and I thought, right, that's it. You know what I mean? I'm well in at the back. Didn't get the front, and it was scratched to bits. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Funny, we've been talking, Mark, about we've got that Ford. What have I got? Ford Focus Estate, but we've got. It was me that kind of. I wanted it. We've got a Volvo XC90, like the big things that the police have.
That, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? It's a tank. It's a tank, but it's got all the bells. I mean, it's old. It's got 120,000 on it there now. Do you know what I mean? But it must have been whoever had it was one person looked after it, but got upgrades on it as well. So there's like heated seats, heated steering wheel. It's a bit like the what you call it, the electric ones. It goes by itself. Do you know what I mean? It's like it lane. It all does all that.
Brilliant.
Automatic, and it's all them things. We're now thinking. Well, it's the heated steering wheel is nice, Do you know what I mean? But it's like, I'm sure it needs a timing belt. So we're kind of in this, the debate now is, can we survive on one car? Because I've put the reg in for it and it's 20 grand off We Buy Any Car. Now, that goes in your bank straight away. Do you know what I mean? It's like, whoosh. I wouldn't want to sell it private because they're just like wheel kickers would come around and I'm not into kind of all that. So it's just like, you know what I mean?
But you see, I couldn't do without heated seats in a car these days. I've got to have, like, I can't remember which car it was that I had that first had heated seats in it, but ever since I had it, it's like, right. Because you know, it's like freezing cold outside. And it's like Baltic. It just takes a couple of minutes for the heater to sort of come on. But your heated seats are obviously electric, so you press the button and they come on, and you sit there and you're like, this is.
And mind you, I'm the only one, Mark, that appreciates the heated seat. The wife has got her own internal heating system. Never wants anything. Wants the house freezing cold. The son, no, because he's lived a student life, never had the heating on for 3 years, 4 years, so he's quite happy. So I'm like, I'll have it, and like I said, this Reed, I says, feel the steering wheel. Oh, Dad, how can you drive with that? Do you know what I mean? Fingers are freezing, man. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, but that's the debate. Can we live with one car? Because it would, like you say, 20 quid in the back pocket, that 20 grand, we've also got this kind of thing over our heads of like the timing belt needs doing, which it's a Volvo. It ain't going to be cheap. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, think of a figure and just like, think of a figure that'll make you cry, and that'll probably be the price of a timing belt. You know what I mean? That's why I got rid of the old one, because the clutch went, and it's just like, I think they're like, every quote was like £1,200 to £1,500. Yeah. It was just like,
I don't know. Well, when I was with someone and we lived together and we had 2 cars, and out of lockdown, right? Because I used to have a Mercedes C-Class, and it was like when I got my last big promotion, I was like, right, I'm going to treat myself. That. And it was a beautiful, beautiful car. And it was like, can we just go down to one car? And we went down to one car, and it lasted about 6 months.
Right.
Before I bought the Skoda that I've got now, about 6 months, because it was just, it might be different for you, because obviously with Robbie, having to take him to clubs and things that he goes to his hockey and stuff like that. So, but then, like, I'd want to go to the allotment on a Sunday morning, and then, like, should be out maybe hockey or something like that, or wherever, and then you're without a car. And I'm like, So we very, very quickly went back to
I think that will be us, Mark, because I mean, the son's going to London eventually with his job in September, but the son borrows mine to fly over, you know what I mean, see his girlfriend and that. Then I'm flying over, to see me mum, take the dogs. Then Melanie's still got work a couple of days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you could work around it, but it might be meaning me going to see me mum at 7 o'clock at night. And I'm thinking...
Yeah, I mean, I would say...
So, Mark, wait on then. This is another thing. 2 cars... or 20,000 within 10 minutes in your bank.
I would say, now I'm based, right? This is me based on, I don't even know the guy's name, but I watch this American finance guy on YouTube sometimes, and he talks about how to, because he talks about wealth, about how to not lose money sort of thing. And he was just talking about cars the other day.
Right.
And somebody was saying, like, you've got this car and it's going to cost, it may be slightly different for you because you're talking about getting rid of it as opposed to getting a new one. And he's saying, is it better for me to sell like you just gave an example, like my $2,000 car that needs a $500 repair. So should I get rid of it and buy myself like a $12,000 new car, like, new to him anyway, sort of car that doesn't need repaired? And he's like, no, he goes, selling it, getting rid of a car to replace it with another one is never, ever, ever going to work out, like financially for you, because I think a car is probably the biggest depreciating asset you'll ever buy. Like, because you say you pay $12,000 for it, as soon as you become the next registered owner and drive it off the forecourt, in terms of resale value, you've just lost half of that. you instantly lose money on a car, and
Yeah.
then over the years it sort of just goes
But
down and down and
on
down
the
and down.
flip side, though, this is the reason, because I did exactly that. The repair
Yeah.
was £1,000 and odd pound. My
Uh-huh.
worry was I pay that 4 months down the line, it's MOT, or you need new
Yeah.
brakes and brake pads
Uh-huh.
and brake discs. There's another grand.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But
I only
I
paid
looked.
seven for the car, and then within
Yeah.
like a year, I paid two and a
Aye.
half.
Yeah.
It's
But
just
I looked at leasing as well. I must admit, when a little while ago, when I looked at leasing, and I did a very, very rough calculations in my head, like what do I pay on repairs and MOTs and tax services and that on my car, plus how much it depreciates each year versus how much does a lease cost. That wasn't like loads in it. It wasn't like massively different in terms of like say cost per month was kind of what I was trying to work out. But then it was the same as you though, Tony. I was like, if I damage the lease car, if I bump that, if I drive into a lamppost, or obviously I'm an amazing driver, so I never hit anything.
oh,
Clearly,
goes without saying.
but if you ever nudge a bollard or hit a lamppost or whatever, then you're just like, oh well, I'll maybe fix it or not, or
I tell you
Whereas the
what,
lease car, you've got to get it done.
what was really nice though, Mark, is like these lease cars would I'd get them in such a state, and it's just like
Aye.
laziness on my behalf with having dogs and then taking things to the tip. I've just took some things to the tip yesterday, which is like covered me seats in blankets. There's load of shit there now, all in the bloody, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, oh my God. But taking the car after, say, a year of like dog, taking it to like, like the cleaners, like where you take and you drop, like, can you do a full valet? And it comes back immaculate.
Oh, immaculate.
You know, and you're thinking, how can you clean it that well? Do you know what I mean? Like the Hoovers I've got in the house can't. Do you know what I mean? It comes back spotless. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, sell it now, sell it now. Do you know what I mean?
Here's a hack for you, a TikTok hack, right? Now, no, this might not work. It might be a lot of rubbish. So I seen this thing. There were, like your car mats. Like you're saying about Hoover. If you Hoover it with your own Hoover,
right?
It still looks a bit. You're like, oh, I've never done this, right? So you get a toilet brush, right? And you cut most of the handle off it,
right?
You get your drill,
right?
You put the toilet brush in the drill, get your car mat, and all the stuff comes out of all the dirt, all the crud that's in your mat comes out. There you go. See that? Right. So if it works, let us know, and I'll buy one. But if it doesn't work, I'll not buy one.
Oh, that's
there you go. Could be
mine. I tell you what,
that, Tony.
The robot vacuum cleaner gets stuck in the car every time. I kind of get that to go to work.
It doesn't go around. Stuck in the footwell.
It like spins. I want my money back. Really I want my money back. You know what I mean? So, man.
There you go.
No, God, that's a good tip, Mark. To be honest,
I don't know if you could use other applications of a toilet brush on a drill. I'm trying to think: is there anything at the allotment I could use it for? Could you clean a polytunnel with it?
Well, I was thinking I've got another power unit being delivered there, and it's down the bottom. I was going to take, me Jetta that I bought my wife.
All right, yeah.
I was going to take that up because to try cleaning like the path in the polytunnel. Do you know what I mean? Just like kind of.
What could possibly go wrong, Tony?
No, it's got like a dome thing. We've got like a dome thing. I got like an extra thing, which is like a dome. And I was thinking, this just looks so not flimsy, but like crap.
Yeah.
But it's made by Karcher, and it's like a big yellow like dome with a handle that attaches to the gun. Hey, I did, and I haven't videoed it, but I did the big, what I got it for. We cleaned all that, or I cleaned all that. It's come up gorgeous.
That's good. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, because someone says, oh, you can get like a proper paving slab cleaner instead of just going
with
getting soaking and like everything. Hey, it's come up lovely. Do you know what I mean? So, and there's no splash. It's all contained under this kind of dome. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I need. Obviously, I've only been in this house that I'm in now since December, so I need to do all the paths around here. So I've got a jet wash thing in the garage there, but I need to get an outside tap fitted first. So I need to get a plumber in to do an outside tap. Once I've got that done, all the paths are getting done. But I've got one. Is your round sort of thing? Has it got like bristles sort of things on the bottom, or for doing the paths?
No,
No.
no.
Oh, I've got a
It's
bristly one.
no, Mark. And when you look at it, you would think, because I think the actual unit, because obviously you're paying for the name as well.
Aye.
The unit was, I think, £90 on top of what I paid for
Okay.
the. And I was like, well, I got it from Amazon, so I've still within a couple of weeks to kind of take, you know what I mean, if I wanted to send it back. No, I can't, because I
Aye.
haven't got the. Actually, you can. You can send anything back to Amazon. Freaking hell, I've done a few cheaty, naughty things on sending things back. But all it is when you lift it up is this plastic dome, yellow, and there's like two thin spindle,
Really?
and it just like spins. But they
Yeah.
must be close to the ground. This when you kind of flip it up,
Yeah.
that it gets it. But it's also got like you press pedals on it on the top, and it's got a nozzle, and that nozzle clears all. You know when you all the crap that's there anyway,
all the
just
stuff.
gets,
Aye.
and so you can just guide it dead quick all into.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
It's quite a satisfying job, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
When you clean it and it dries and it looks beautifully clean afterwards. But I know what you mean about if you're using the normal nozzle, the sort of jet, and you hit that gap between the paving slabs and all the moss in the crud, and that just goes whoosh all over you.
I cleaned it on the front one, Mark, and someone says, "Oh, you get another lance," and you do, which it sort of like rotates, spins.
I've got one like that. Yeah, it's got like two nozzles in it.
That's for like well pitted in. Pulling up the concrete. It was chipping up. You know what I mean? The concrete down there is like a patterned one. It's been down for like 20 years when we first moved in. It's blasted up the concrete. It was that hard. You know what I mean? I was like, but I'm in your dilemma now, Mark. I mean, but I've used it for all the jobs.
Yeah. You send it back.
You know what I mean? But
I'm done with this. It's going back.
Melanie, you know that present I got you? I mean,
I've still got that box.
No, I'm getting rid of all. But I bought that. That didn't come. No, that got from Argos, I think.
Aye. Well, I got a cart. I've had two Karcher jet washers. They've both packed up on us.
Right.
Because I know that's like the go-to one, isn't it? Karcher's like the go-to. And the last time I bought a Screwfix one, I can't remember it's got a name, but I'm sure it's like Screwfix's own brand. I can't mind exactly what it's called. And I've only had it a year, so it's not really had much of a run. But yeah, both Karcher ones have packed up on us and sort of given up the ghost. Yeah.
I think I might have had a Bing Q and make one once, and I remember when you put the cable that's got the gun on. Remember the screw snapped off, so you couldn't even. You know what I mean?
But it's like anything these days. Like you just replace stuff, don't you? Like nearly everything, all your appliances and that. If ever something breaks, like if you've got to get a guy out to fix it with a part and stuff like that, it's like, oh, your washing machine's going to cost you £250 to fix it. Like, you get a brand new one for £300. Why would I just fix it and just get a new one?
This is you're going to get this all the time with me memory. Have I told you about the fridge freezer that we insured? Have I mentioned that story? We had this American fridge freezer, and it was lush. Do you mean honestly? It looked like the big old American ones. We got it brand new. I think it was a LG, but it was called Lucky Gold Star. That was LG's name before they became LG. And so we've had it before the name change. And we paid every month like an insurance because we loved it, you know what I mean? So I don't think it was that much, but we paid every month. Eventually it broke. The seals rotted and the guy came out, you know, because we were insured. He came out and he said, they've never made them for, he says, great freezers, but they haven't made them for years. Do you know what I mean? He says, but you're insured. Go to, I think it was Curry's. Go there and see the stuff, and you can buy it. Oh, right. So walked in, all these fancy American fridge freezers, right? All these things. She says, "Oh yes, put my details." Oh, she says, "Pick anyone you want, love. You can have anyone." Well, obviously, straight to the most expensive one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That one.
Oh, look at this ice, this, that, the other. You know what I mean? Huge mother chucker thing. We'll have that. Gets it home fitted perfect, Mark. Yeah. Perfect. Week later,
Right.
working out, for whatever reason, how much the insurance costs were, like each month, to how much the actual unit costs were. We paid over $2,000 more in insurance than the fucking new freezer cost were over the 10 years, whatever we had it. And I was like,
brilliant.
because honestly, I thought I'd scored. Do you know what I mean? I thought, like, that's one up for the little man. Do you know what I mean? Like, one up there. And it's just like, then I worked and like, nah. God, and I thought, so we cancelled every appliance, cancelled my mother's, my mum cancelled. We've cancelled everyone now. And if things go up, it's easier just to buy like a £300 washing machine.
Isn't it? Just replace it. Like it's and the one I got a new washing machine in January there. And
you had to.
I had to.
You had to get everything.
The people, the old dear had left one. The old dear who'd been here before had left one, and it was bloody awful.
Aye.
So orders a new one. 2 guys came in a van from Curry's. It was Curry's as well. They came to Curry's, came in, unplumbed the old one, took the old one away, brought the new one in, took it all out of the packaging, plumbed it all in, tested it. It was a special January sale thing where they did all that for you. And I was just like, marvellous. Like, I didn't have to get down on my hands and knees and undoing it all and stuff like that. And it's brilliant. It's doing just the job. Yes.
And have you insured it, or is it not insured?
No, I never take these. Whenever you buy anything, especially online, it always pops up. Do you want to insure this? It's like, I'm only buying a $9.99 something. Do you want to insure this for 67p a month or whatever? It's like, no.
Mark, I've got other stories. We paid, and I forget what it was. Something in general came through, legal in general insurance for your Hoover. Yeah. Do you want to update it? Or do you think we're better? I don't know. Well, we probably will. And we're just so close to going. And then I went, I says, we haven't had that Hoover for 3 years. I says, it's in the loft. We're keeping it for parts. I says, we've got a new Hoover, but we're still paying insurance for a broken Hoover. That, the bits were in the loft.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, man. The only thing I do really pay for is boiler cover. So I pay the whatever every month for the boiler cover. So if the boiler ever packs up, somebody comes out straight away, and that covers all your parts. Because when it's the heating and hot water...
heating. Yeah, we've got
expensive.
And I think it's only about £6 or £11. I think every gets a service every year, and kind of.
It's definitely worth doing. I think the boiler's the one thing I'll always pay for. Because again, replace it.
Do you know what I do about now? What I've done a couple of times. So when it came in, and I was doing all research, and then I started realizing the installer set your hot water too high. Right. So if you get in a bath, if it's too hot and you've got to run cold, that's wasting money. So I worked it out.
Right.
And I think it's 43 degrees where we can get in the bath straight away and it's perfect. Not set at 80 degrees where it's too hot and then you've got to run cold and all that. And now, because I get the seconds of a bath. Do you know what I mean? I'm not allowed to get the first dip of a bath. You know what I mean? And now I've come in and I the heating system up to 65, 70 and run hot water. Do you know what I mean? And then, by God, I quickly come back in, with my little towel around this, because the boiler's here, and take it back down. You know what I mean? They'll not beat me, Mark.
I must admit, Tony, speaking about a bath there, I'm a fan of a good bath. I know there's a lot of people are like, shower. No, you can't. If you're in a bath, you're sitting in your own filth. But you see, an hour in a nice hot bath, just again, it's just that zoning out. So, I'll read a book or just look at junk on my phone or listen to some music or whatever. But you see, an hour in a bath. Oh, blooming marvellous, Tony.
Well, we did have, and the son mentioned it, but we can't find one because the bath with new one's too big. But we got one for the old bath, and he says it's game changer. And it was a wooden thing that sits across your bath. Remember, we used to have the old-fashioned ones, but this one had a slot for your iPad.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? And my son said, game changer. you know what I mean? Game changer kind of thing. But now at the minute, we've lost that because we've got a new bath, and I'm perching my phone on top of a candle that's got like a wooden lid flat, you know what I mean? So it's like precariously kind of we're watching, that's it, you know what I mean? A good hour with the temperature a little bit higher, so I can just run a little bit more, and then watching like video, like YouTube kind of stuff. Watching us, Mark, in the bath. That's what people. Bath. I wonder if people watch us in the bath.
Friday night in the bath. You have a wee glass of wine and a candle. Watching us on the iPad doesn't get any better than that, Tony. It doesn't get any better.
If anyone's in the chat, the live chat or on just watch us in the bath. Do you know what I mean?
You watch us in the bath, let us know. Don't watch us in the shower. That's probably a bit risky.
We've got a shower, but I'm lazy, Mark, to be honest, and I have to, you know, I mean, good lady tells us to kind of dry it every day, wash it after, you know what I mean? And I'm just like,
Tony. Oh, man. No. Bath, top tier, shower. You know, if you need to just like daily, if you just need to get clean
I'll tell you, when the shower, Mark, when the shower is, and I've done it today, is trim the beard or the hair, and I've trimmed them. It's got to be a shower.
You don't want to be itchy, do you?
So it's got to be a shower for that, because I've done it where you're in the bath and then you can see all hair floating around. Right, it's going to stick back there, and I hate itchy hair. You know what I mean?
It's like awful, isn't it?
I also remember my dad used to come up. You know, I used to cut my dad's hair, and I'd say, "I'll just put a towel." No, young'un, just leave the towel. I don't want a towel around my neck. So like the hair would. I'll manage, and I'll get home, and I'll get. Well, I was like, I could not. Have that. Do you know what I mean?
No, round your neck, round the sleeve of your t-shirt, of that, isn't it? It gets in there, and it's all. No thanks. No thanks.
What we got? Labeling everything in society, Mark. I tell you where this gets. I noticed you put that on there, and that's a good one. But it's not what you're thinking. But I tell you what, labeling everything. I tell you where this gets me. Boils my piss, if you don't mind me saying, is where you go somewhere like a campsite, specifically campsites or B&B, and you can understand, but they've got like bits of like laminated A4, please switch off this, stuck everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Please do not walk on the carpet with your shoes. Please do not have... And you can understand, obviously, something's happened and there's dogs jumped on the settee or anything, you know what I mean? But that boils my... When it's everything, do you know what I mean? Please, like little ones stuck next to the taps, please make sure the taps are securely switched off.
But I guess the only thing about that is that they've had to do that for a reason. It's like you say, somewhere in the past, someone has done something that has caused somebody to then have to put a sign up to say, don't do something, or do this, or don't do that, or turn this off, or turn that off.
But surely that one, because honestly, there was a certain property we went to where it was littered with that, which is kind of why I'm remembering. Surely, though, it hasn't happened every time for every bit of this. You know what I mean? Like, please make cutlery, you know, like, please put cutlery back in cutlery drawer. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, look, and I'm like, that's spoiling.
It's like I'm a grown up. Kind of thing. I don't need to read all your signs. I know how to turn a TV on and off, or what. But I tell you, funny you say that about turning things off. I learned this trick years ago from somebody I was away with on a was it a hockey tournament thing, and we're all staying in, like, it was like Travelodge or Premier Inn or somewhere like that. And you know, when you go in the room and you've got to put your card in the slot to get power, to get electricity. Well, you know, when you go to reception and you check into a hotel, and you get your card, and they give you in a little cardboard thing with your room number written on it and things like that, and like the Wi-Fi password or whatever. Take your cards out of that, right? Get you a bit of cardboard, fold it in half, and stick it in the slot. Right? You know where you put the card in for the electricity?
Yes.
It's not reading the card. There's just a little switch in there that needs to switch. So you can use anything. You actually use anything. But the bit of card that your card comes in is incredibly useful. So you open the door, fold it up, put it in the slot, and then you have power all the time without having your room key in the slot.
Because Because we went exactly that, Mark, and it like knocks the heating off. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and you're kind of thinking,
I see. If you're somewhere that's mad hot or really cold, you want the heating on or whatever. Little card in the slot.
Yeah,
and it goes.
Well, it is when you've just said they're cold. It is like your holiday apartment with the air conditioner. So you come in the afternoon for a little nana nap, and it's red hot.
It's roasted.
You know what I mean? And I never knew that. Never.
So you're getting all the top tips on today's show: car tax or hotel rooms or anything. You know, here for the tips, here for the hacks. Isn't that what they call them these days? Hacks.
The kids are calling them hacks.
The kids call them hacks. We'll just call them tips, hints and tips.
Have we got anything else we can kind of? Oh, Greg's 2 billion revenue. God bless the company, man.
I seen it on the news. You know, after we're talking about it, like was it last week we were talking about Greg's? And I've seen there was a story in the news, and they've made last year, so whatever the last I'm assuming last financial year, £2 billion in revenue. But what got me is they're saying what's boosted their profits is selling things like pizza slices, chicken dippers, chicken goujons, potato wedges. You know, when you go in now and you see them in the hot counter, apparently that's really starting to take off for them. It's not like your old... say Cornish pasty. I don't even think you can get a Cornish pasty in Greg's anymore these days. It's just
steak bakes and
steak bakes, chicken bakes, isn't it? That's the
we've
term.
even got a Greg's inside an Asda, like in the middle. Not like you'd go to like Asda and you've got like your shops down one aisle, like Timpson shoes and kind of Now that the Greg's is in the middle.
In Asda.
Like, you know how we've got like a pharmacy in the middle where the Greg's has got seating area now as well.
Posh Greg's.
Oh, seats.
Oh, goodness me. Holy moly. But £2 billion in revenue. And they're saying as well, they're moving from a model, like you're saying that, you know, that's an Asda. They're putting their shops, they find that their shops in like train stations and bus stations, and opening them later at night. So when people are out in the high and stuff like that, they're going to get themselves a cheeky little Greg's.
Well, apparently they want to take on McDonald's on that evening slot now. You know what I mean? Like, say, going for... And
good on them.
I didn't know there's more Greg's outlets than there is McDonald's outlets by...
Oh, really?
In the UK by thousands. You know what I mean?
Wow. You've just made me think of an interesting fact. Tony. See if you can get the answer. There's only one country in the world, right? It's the whole world, one country, where Coca-Cola isn't the number one soft drink. One country.
It's got to be bloody Scotland. Is it?
And it's Iron Brew.
Is it?
Iron Brew, yeah. So every country in the world, Coca-Cola, number one. Only country that it isn't, Scotland. Good old Iron Brew. I'm partial to an Iron Brew. I like an Iron Brew.
I didn't think it would be even in Scotland as popular. I know it's like, you know, we kind of laugh. It's made from girders and all that kind of, you know what I mean, advertising. But I didn't think it was as big.
No,
I didn't think it was bigger than Coca-Cola, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's good that, you know, I couldn't even tell you what flavour it is. I couldn't even describe the flavour of Iron Brew. It's just Iron Brew flavour. You know, like Sprite is meant to be like lemon and lime, or Fanta's orange. Iron Brew's just Iron Brew flavour.
There's another one like that as well. I can't tell what flavour's Vimdo. You know what I mean? It's just like its own make, isn't it?
Another weird one. But couldn't tell you.
But
it's delicious though.
I'm a Pepsi Max. I get wrong, you know. That's another thing, you know what I mean. A Pepsi Max, I'm limited to that. You know.
I like the one with cherry, Pepsi Max cherry. I like with a cherry in it.
Sorry, I'm going to have to end this show right now, ladies and gentlemen.
You don't like the cherry one?
Oh, no. About with perfection, Mark. All them kind of flavor. Like, what's the other one? There's cherry, there's lemon, and then there's...
Oh, there's like a vanilla one and a mango one, and that's not... Nah, that's too far. Cherry's as far as I'll go. But I don't like... I do like the, you know, like Coke Zero or Pepsi Max, you know, the sugar-free ones. Because I find... If ever you have a sugar one, like the full fat one, like your teeth are you get like a coating on your teeth, like sort of. It's just a bit.
Would you ever pick up a caffeine-free one?
Nah, what's the point in that?
No, I know.
But there's a big thing as well about is it aspartame they call it? They
Yes.
put in the drinks instead of the sugar, and everyone's like, aspartame's going to kill you. If you're drinking 10 litres a day, but if I'm having one 500ml bottle a week,
mind you,
I'll survive.
That's what Melanie, like in her argument, bless her, says, like, because of what I went through, you know what I mean? It's got to be, you know what I mean? And I used to, like, again, I didn't drink much, but it was always like a big kid. On a tea time, I would always have like a pint of orange juice, dilute orange juice, you know what I mean? And I've had to stop that because I don't know if that had anything to do, but when you look at the ingredients, you know what I mean? You're thinking, what the hell was all that going in there? You know what I mean? So
it's all the numbers and the letters, isn't it? All your colours and your flavourings and stuff like that. You don't quite know what they are. Yeah, don't. But yeah, Iron Brew's all right. That's
all right. God's sake, man. That's natural. Right. That's a natural colour.
The colour, that orange colour, totally natural.
Mark, we have chatted far too long here on such important matters of the day. Do you know what I mean?
Kind of public service, Tony. It's a public service.
We're here to enlighten and enrich and ease you into the weekend.
In your bath.
Yes. Where do you watch? Do let me know. Mark, where can we find you then if anyone wants to watch you on YouTube by themselves?
Goodness, Mark's Allotment Plot on YouTube, on Patreon, on TikTok, and Instagram.
He's all over the bloody place like a rat.
I think that's it. There's probably other places, but no one's going to see.
What were you thinking of changing your name? Like the YouTube?
I'm in complete limbo about it, Tony. I'm in complete limbo as to what to do. So I put a video out and I talked about it. There was loads of. I've not even replied to any of the comments. It was a bit overwhelming, to be honest. Like reading it all, like some people saying, "Don't ever change it." No, and some people saying, "Do what you want." Some people saying, "Oh, you could do this, you could do that, you could do this," and now I'm in limbo. Now I don't know what to do. So I'm still thinking about it. I'm procrastinating, Tony.
It's amazing comments because I put one out, Mark, honestly, about, I was obviously a little bit clickbaity with dizziness. I forget what the title was. I'm plagued with dizziness. Mark, I had everything. I had radiation poisoning. I had, you know what I mean? Dehydrate. I had everything. You know what I mean? So many things. You know what I mean? Diabetes. This. I bet you better check your heart tone. Your heart. I think you're going to pass. You know what I mean? It was like everything was like, and it was just again, it was overwhelming. It was just like, you know what? I'm not even going to go there.
Nah, because normally I try to be pretty good with the comments and reply to folk and give the old thumbs up in the heart and stuff like that. But it was too much. Every now and again, it's too much coming at you, and I'm like, no, I just need to take a step back from it, kind of thing. So yeah, it's still Mark's Allotment Plot. It might change. TBC in the future. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, everyone, big thank you in the chat. It's been lovely in the chat. There's been loads, Mark, to be honest. I'm quite chuffed to bits there. So nice. If you want, come on over. If you want to join this, actually, where we do it live, we do it Wednesday. What's the time there?
54.
54. You know what I mean? We kind of normally go for like a 11:30 on a Wednesday. So if you want to join the chat there and support this show and Patreon. I paid the bill, you know, Mark, for this software, and it's nearly worse than car tax. Do you know what I mean? It's like, are you kidding me? Do you know what I mean? And it's so easy, mind you. I'll be honest, it's so easy. Do you know what I mean? It's just like
because some people see Patreon and things like that and think, oh, but it's free on YouTube. I'm not going to pay for that. But they don't realize how much you're paying in the background for microphones.
I mentioned it was nearly 400.
Aye,
you know what I mean?
And people don't realize you're paying that. It all costs money. And if you didn't spend money on that, the quality
would be terrible, Mark. It would be
terrible because it's all edited.
String cans with the hello, boy. Well, before we go, Mark, I'll because I mentioned this on me science fiction podcast, and it was it's a bit of a kind of milestone. Did you hear Skype is closing down?
I did. Yes.
Honestly, well. I interviewed so many science fiction writers of the guys, big
Yeah.
women. Do you know what I mean? Like have you? I don't know if you've ever heard of any of them, but there was like a legend called Ray Bradbury, who's like
Right.
he was like the god.
Yeah.
And he was like 90 odd when I interviewed him, but it was purely
Brilliant.
through Skype, and I was able to ring his mobile or his hand phone. Do you know what I mean? That's what Skype did. So it would be recorded all, and so all of the great ones who have long gone now. Do you know what I mean? It's like they've all passed away. They're all on and it was all down to Skype.
All to Skype.
You know what I mean? And that's going away there now. It's quite, Microsoft bought it for, I think, 8 billion or something. Never did anything with it. Brought out shitty Teams, which is like
Teams now. It's all about Teams.
It's the worst bit of software going. Do you know what I mean? It's just horrific. And they dumped Skype. You know what I mean? And I think Skype was a European company, a bit like Spotify at the very beginning. Do you know what I mean? And it was just like just so easy for me just to and there was no video. You know, it was all headphones and just listening and talking. I remember that Ray Bradbury mark, and it was like I had always one of the questions was, "Are you a science fiction writer?" And someone would say, "Well, I wouldn't class myself as a science fiction, but I dabbled." Well, he'd gotten that right throughout his life because he was never a science fiction, although he wrote like Mars stories and everything. And I think he was in his 90s, Mark. I've never been more. He shouted at us when I said that. I says, "Mr. Bradbury, are you a science fiction writer?" And it was just a list of questions I had. You know what I mean? It was one of my first ones to get the ball rolling. No! You know what I mean? It took us months to get this interview sorted up, and I thought within seconds I've blown it. Blown it. You know what I mean? "Mr. Bradbury, are you?" No! He screamed, bless him, and his voice was dead weak. So
really?
Like frail, like 90 odd. No! Well, there you go. That's right then, Mark.
There we go.
See you next week, everyone.
Done for another week. Indeed.
Take good care. Doodle pip. Bye.